But one thing is, you have volunteered to testify at the trial, correct?
Not as of yet. Actually, I was subpoenaed.
Okay.
So my attorneys worked something out. So I believe when the time is right, I'm going to discuss it with my attorneys.
But you're willing to?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
That's right. I'll Be Sure is back and prepared to testify, ready to reveal everything he knows about Diddy. And when I say everything, I mean it. One thing that's consistent about Al, he's never changed his story.
Yes, many, many years ago, I posted some information that was, basically trying to save my life. And thank goodness to my ex, the wonderful Kim Porter, the late Kim Porter, who, kind of warned me all along the way to, just kind of watch your back, so on and so forth. And I didn't understand why.
Because of Diddy.
Reports suggest that Al is among those expected to testify in Diddy's trial. And if he sticks to the same claims he's been making for years, it could be seriously damaging to Diddy's public image, something already under scrutiny during the trial. On top of that, Al has also spoken further about Kim Porter's case. Let's get into it. Before Kim started dating Diddy, she was in a relationship with I'll Be Sure. Not only did they have Quincy together, but Kim also acknowledged that she was the inspiration behind Al's track Forever My Lady. According to Al, they were actually married, something he first mentioned in an interview with Fox Soul. He said, "Every time I post something, I forget that I'm a grandfather. My focus isn't on being popular or chasing likes, that's not me." But I recently shared a post about my ex-wife. Yes, he called her his ex-wife, Kimberly. He added that no one knew because they never publicly discussed being married. Still, he occasionally honored her with tributes. Even after their separation, Al and Kim remained on good terms. And if there's anyone who has consistently raised concerns about the circumstances of Kim's passing, it's Al.
Basically.
Do you believe that she died of pneumonia?
Absolutely not.
Why? What evidence do you have?
She was in the best of health. We just saw each other prior to her passing. We were actually celebrating our son's new Netflix Christmas special, and she was doing just fine. In fact, we were all at the event together at Netflix in the lobby. Sean, myself, the children, all having a great time. And I'm, grabbing Sean like, what? And she's in the back going, stop, So it was a really festive opportunity just for all of us to be together, because it's nothing like the circus that's out here. So it was a lot of the stuff, came to surprise, but a lot of the stuff will be revealed and that's why I thought it would be a good idea to finally tell my story. Every network came to me.
Many of you might recall right after the release of Kim's alleged book, I'll Be Sure took to Instagram and responded to a headline from Extra that read, "Diddy's late ex Kim Porter revealed his twisted secrets and alleged diary entries." In the caption, Al wrote, "From 2009 through 2018, everyone said I'd lost my mind and told me to take a seat," referring to how he'd been repeating this same message for years. He also mentioned how, on the day Kim passed, he had shared what she told him in desperation, warnings to be cautious. But law enforcement didn't take him seriously. Instead, the public questioned his mental health, suggesting he needed medical attention. Additionally, in March 2024, Al implied that Diddy may have had a hand in the coma he fell into in 2022. He also revealed that he's working on a documentary that, according to him, will shock the world.
We are going to be producing the Al Be Sure life story. So hold on to your britches, and you'll really understand how I ended up in a coma. You're really going to need to call Homeland Security.
As many of you know, I'll Be Sure has been raising concerns for years. Back in November 2021, he claimed that in the period leading up to Kim's passing, she appeared to be fleeing from someone or something, and that he had advised her to contact the FBI. Not long after sharing the post, Al edited the final part of the caption, removing any reference to the FBI and instead writing that Kim was running a marathon. He also previously recalled the moment he found out Kim had passed, writing, "I just found this footage from the morning I learned about Atlantic's aka hashtag Kim Porter's death and how it felt like my soul was ripped from my body. I'm very clear that hashtag Kimberly didn't suddenly pass due to pneumonia. That explanation doesn't add up. This is usually where I get into trouble." In the same post, Al tagged Diddy to make sure his message was seen, adding, "We had just celebrated our son Quincy's new project and Netflix holiday special. Kim was in great spirits and good health. She was laughing, especially seeing me and Diddy acknowledge each other at the theater." I'll just leave it at that. Now Al is once again echoing those same concerns.
It's been quite a journey. And as I said, even as it relates to writing the book, I went through many, almost, more than a decade of being scrutinized and clowned by law enforcement, them telling me, you need some help. Sex trafficking, really? What's wrong with you? No way, but not realizing that they were also working for the situation.
Al also revealed that he plans to release a tell-all memoir titled Do You Believe Me Now, expected this fall. In the book, he intends to detail his personal experiences, including his history with Diddy. He also claims that Diddy and people connected to him may have had a role in the health crisis that led to his multiple organ failure. L further disclosed that there was a price on his head and that he encountered serious resistance when he initially went public with his claims about Diddy. He mentioned receiving a subpoena related to Diddy's legal proceedings and affirmed his readiness to testify. Al emphasized that his motivation is to speak his truth, not to gain attention or profit.
So do you think specifically then that Sean Diddy Combs or people affiliated with him did something to you that caused you to have multi-organ failure?
I believe this to be the case, yes. Absolutely.
Wow.
It's clear that Al hasn't been making these claims without reason. To this day, several aspects of Kim's passing remain unexplained, like the reported blood found on her pillowcases and a faint trail of blood on the bedroom floor leading to the bathroom. In fact, according to multiple reports, Kim wasn't discovered unresponsive in her bed, but rather on the bathroom floor. So, if she was found in bed, it may have been a deliberate placement. There's also the claim that the original coroner who conducted Kim's autopsy suspected foul play due to elevated levels of a particular toxin in her system. Additionally, Kim's final phone call was reportedly to 911 at 2:43 a.m., yet her body wasn't found until around 11 o'clock a.m. the next morning. More recently, reports have surfaced that Kim's family has been seeking legal counsel and considering filing a wrongful death lawsuit against Diddy, stating they possess physical evidence to support their case. So when Al expresses doubt over what really happened to Kim, it's not without basis. There's also the concerning pattern involving individuals who worked closely with Diddy during Kim's life, many of whom are no longer alive. Kim, for instance, was the longest-serving member at Uptown Records, starting as Andre Harrell's personal assistant. Now, Kim is gone. Heavy D has passed. Andre Harrell has also passed. The only ones still living are Diddy and Al nearly died himself. What makes this pattern even more concerning is how each death occurred. Heavy D was found face down and reportedly died of a heart attack. Andre Harrell, too, is said to have died from a heart attack. Kim's cause of death was listed as pneumonia. It's also worth noting that all of them were reportedly working on books or projects before their deaths. Andre was said to be writing a book. So was Heavy D. Al was developing a documentary before he went into a coma. Kim, likewise, was reportedly writing a book before her death. Regarding Kim's book, while one version did surface that couldn't be verified, reports suggest the actual manuscript was set to reveal sensitive details. These included how Kim allegedly protected Al by warning him not to attend certain events where Diddy would be present because she was aware of what Diddy might be capable of. The book was also rumored to contain claims about Diddy's abusive behavior, her feelings of isolation and manipulation, and how she reportedly performed certain acts like using a strap-on to satisfy Diddy only to cry afterward in private. There were also allegations of surveillance in her home with wiretapped phone lines and staff allegedly paid to monitor her. The manuscript reportedly included details about Diddy's push for full custody of their twins, and how Kim warned she would expose him if he tried to take the children from her. It's further alleged that Kim planned to expose industry-level conspiracies such as claims that the East and West Coast conflict was orchestrated to eliminate Tupac and Biggie, all to gain control of their music masters. According to those rumors, Pac and Biggie were planning to unite and challenge Bad Boy and Death Row for their rights. Lastly, Kim's manuscript was said to include accounts of Diddy's relationships with men, including individuals he allegedly took advantage of, Usher reportedly being one of them. Of course, all of this remains alleged, but it's what's being discussed.
Well, I mentioned that earlier, that he said about Stevie J. The Usher part, that's a touchy situation, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I had a certain feeling and I felt a certain way when Usher got on Shay Shay, and I don't mean to mention other people's platforms, but he got on Shay Shay and he mentioned how great and how good Puff taught him and everything. You know what I'm saying? About the business, right? I know, and people know, that was around that in that time that Puff and Usher did have a situation. And that situation led Usher to the hospital.
The book that was released also included some claims about Al. One excerpt alleged that Kim once walked in on Diddy and Al in a situation that shocked her so deeply, she had to leave the house and head across the street to China. According to the alleged excerpt, Kim recalled a conversation where Diddy told Al, "It's still strange seeing you with my friend, but as long as you're happy, I'm happy for you both." Sean responded, "Thanks, man. We've been through a lot together." Al simply replied, "Word." The tone reportedly shifted when Sean added, "We've all been involved sexually, just not at the same time." Kim wrote that she was stunned. And when she asked for clarification, Sean explained, "You know how we sometimes bring others into bed." Kim's reaction was disbelief. "Oh no, Sean, this is my son's father." Al, "Say something." She remembered saying. Al's response, though, was unexpected. "I don't know. It could be kind of hot. I miss you in that way." Kim admitted that despite being upset with Sean, she still cared for Al and found the idea tempting, but was concerned about how it might impact her relationship and, more importantly, Quincy. She asked, "Are you both sure?" and recalled imagining what such an encounter might look like. Though she anticipated it would be awkward, with possible physical discomfort, what happened next was beyond anything she had imagined. L, for his part, denied the claims made in the book and even stated that he planned to pursue legal action. Still, perhaps it's better to focus on what Al has said publicly regarding Kim. There are also those who question Al's credibility, describing him as self-centered. For example, shortly after Quincy released a statement expressing that the theories about Kim's death had been emotionally difficult for him and his siblings, Al continued to post cryptic and questionable content online. In his post about the alleged memoir, Al said he intended to sue. And many noted that he seemed more upset about being named in the book than about its actual content, something some people considered selfish. To make things more complicated, Al also publicly questioned why Quincy still followed someone who, according to him, had harmed Kim. These actions led some to doubt his intentions. Even so, many are still interested in hearing what Al might share under oath. Will he offer new insights about Kim's final days? Will he speak more about what he claims happened to him? It's certainly something to watch for. In the meantime, let me know your thoughts about Al potentially testifying in the comments section below.